What's good, everybody? It's your girl here, back with another reaction. I'm gonna get into this video right quick because I have a lot of reactions to record today. So today's video, we're gonna be doing 10 of the Amazing World Gumball's episodes that weren't for kids. Now, really quickly before I get into this reaction, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and thumbs the video up because it's gonna be a good one. And check out the description for my Twitch channel. Go over there on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch at hey_Mushu. I live stream every day. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video, grab my headphones, and get it moving.
While the Amazing World of Gumball was originally created for kids, it became significantly darker after the second season. Stick around to see which nightmare-inducing episode claimed the #1 spot of inappropriate Gumball moments. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button to never miss
Hit that subscribe button.
And don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. Let's
thumbs up the video like she said. Thumbs the video up.
Episodes that weren't for kids. The Storm. Let's start with the episodes that made one particular scene go pretty viral after someone watched the show and realized just how creepy this innuendo actually is.
Okay.
We all know all cartoons come with innuendos.
Great.
You'd never expect it from a show like this. In The Storm, we see Alan, the balloon, and Carmen, the cactus, break up. Gumball finds Alan crying in the school bathroom and tries really hard to make him feel better. This is where things get a bit weird. Alan says he doesn't have the strength to inflate and be cheery, which might as well be an innuendo. He even wiggles his head to show what he means. Of course, if you're too young, you probably won't even get this. But we bet a lot of how this managed to even make it in the cartoon show.
Because it's a cartoon and kids don't get jokes.
Leaving the bathroom stall. Alan looks happy and, well, inflated, while Gumball looks like he's just done something he probably shouldn't do at his age. Just look at Gumball's face.
Stop.
It's one of the weirdest innuendos we've ever seen on the show. And it's
that's not what happened, though. He was just disgusted that he showed him his private part. And I got hit with an ad. Isn't that great? Thumbs up the video if you got hit with an ad.
The remote. Since so many young kids watch this show,
he didn't even do what we thought he did, though. He just saw his privates and was disgusted.
However, not all lessons are positive. The remote is the first episode of season 1, but the ending of that episode features a creepy scene we hope no child would ever want to learn from. At the end of the episode, the 4-year-old Anais locks her whole family outside just so she could watch her favorite show. She seems very pleased with herself that she was able to pull this off, while the rest of the family seems pretty worried outside. While it's a cute idea, we hope that no child ever tries to pull this off because it's really not safe. On top of that, Anais planned all of this out in order to get the family.
Only OGs watch Cartoon Network anyways.
Watch her favorite show.
If you don't watch Cartoon Network, you're automatically soft.
The same way, but we
Sorry.
really hope none of them attempt to do this themselves and lock their family out of their house or even out of the room just so they can watch their favorite show. Not to mention, it's totally dangerous for 4-year-olds to be left alone in the house. The Job. This entire episode is just bizarre. At the beginning of The Job, we see Nicole acting pretty bizarre and having a nightmare. And later a breakdown when she realizes her husband has a job. When we were watching this scene, we definitely felt creeped out. So we can't even imagine kids watching the same thing. Nicole's bad feeling about her husband's job makes you wonder what's going to happen. Richard's reckless driving is probably considered hilarious by a lot of people, but we hope no kids think this is how you actually drive. Gumball's neighbors are also pretty bizarre. Especially Mr. Small, who passes
I hate how people get this perception that cartoons are supposed to be perfect and it's supposed to be an example for children, when that's really not always the case, because there are a lot of adults that still watch cartoons.
One of the highlights of this creepy episode that definitely wasn't for kids. Besides, she wants to stop her husband from having a job after they realize his job is causing weird shifts in the entire town. The entire car ride is also pretty creepy, as is the music. As many people have pointed out, some Gumball episodes should never be seen by kids, and The Job fits that description. Halloween. Let's face it, every Halloween episode is creepy, regardless of what the show actually is. Halloween scenes just allow characters to make the cartoon slightly more scary than usual, but shows like Gumball took it slightly too far, and it starts right at the beginning.
Too far?
Take a shortcut
How?
Why would they ever do that in the first place? Here's the actual problem we have with the Halloween episode. Gumball and the rest of the gang go into the graveyard house, but because Anais is too young to go, they just leave her hanging on a tree. Yes, you heard that right. right. She's just hanging on a tree.
But
and
it's
they go into
funny.
a haunted house. And then there's, of course, Carrie, the ghost, who makes Gumball and Darwin drink the potion that turns the entire place into a scary party house. And it gets even creepier when Gumball and Darwin turn into ghosts and their real bodies just drop down. Of course, Halloween episodes are meant to be scary, but this was just a little bit too much, especially since the show is meant to be a kid's show.
Yo, who's complaining about this shit? I got hit with another. Thumbs up the video if you got hit with an ad.
And let's not
Again.
mention that the scary Halloween
Who's
party
complaining
has
about
way
this
too
shit, though?
many
Like,
gray
seriously?
innuendos. The Flower. We told you that this show gets extremely dark in season 2 and all other seasons after. The Flower starts pretty innocently with a cheer scene and Gumball enjoying the sight of his cheerleader girlfriend. Darwin was pretty hilarious by keeping it real in the first scene, but what makes this inappropriate is Gumball's jealousy at Leslie being with Penny instead of him. This episode was meant to show the actual effects of jealousy on a person, but seriously, they took it just a little bit too far. Gumball
Really?
becomes a completely different person.
Right.
And honestly, it's pretty scary. While it's true that this is what jealousy actually looks like, it's just a little bit too much seeing Gumball basically having
I
two
hate this.
personalities,
Like,
while Carrie and
these
Darwin
people
seem
are really
pretty
like,
scary.
they're
Even
really
since
like,
seeing
I don't know. I
Gumball
think they hate
Gumball's
Cartoon
face,
Network because the
this is
shit that they're
definitely
saying
one of
is
the
really
top 38
crazy.
episodes that definitely weren't meant to be watched by kids' eyeballs. Seriously, the jealous version of Gumball is way too mean, and his voice is way too scary for kids. And then there's the scene where Gumball forgets.
I mean, me personally, I always thought, because I used to watch this show, and I always thought that this show wasn't even for little kids anyways. Like, every show on Cartoon Network isn't for children.
The Fan. The amazing world of Gumball also touches on an interesting topic no child should
That's
ever
what
know
makes
about.
Cartoon
Let's
Network
start
so
with the
special. Like,
beginning
all the
of the
cartoons
episode.
that
Darwin
show
and Gumball
on
run
that
so
network
fast
is
they
not for
completely forget
kids.
about the dangers of the neighborhood. Not to mention
So
that
why are you
Sarah
critiquing a
ruins
cartoon
Sarah
that's
and
not
even
for little
knocks her
kids?
over on purpose at some point. But what's even more inappropriate about that is Sarah, who becomes just a little bit too creepy, and not just with her bad puns. Sarah is a stalker. Sarah thinks both Gumball and Darwin are totally in love with her, but when Gumball says she's the insanely obsessive person, she excitedly accepts this assignment. She seems to be always there, and she even admits that she sneaks into Gumball's room and watches him when he sleeps. She
Okay,
also
if that's what
claims
she
all
does,
the
that's what
people
she
that are to
does.
hide in their house, and also mentions the lack of security.
Okay, that's a little
Creepy,
crazy,
right?
but still, if that's what she does, that's what she does.
For neither Darwin or Gumball, she just wants one of them to be
Like,
her husband.
kids
This is
can't watch
definitely
every
inappropriate
cartoon. Like,
episode
some
for kids,
cartoons
but
aren't
if
meant
they
for all
watch it, it should
children.
be explained that there's nothing
Especially
funny
the
or
ones that look like
entertaining about
them.
being
No, it's
stalked
not
and
for
breaking
them.
into someone's house.
It's for
Let's
kids
go
like
in.
me,
You've probably
big
figured out
kids,
by now that the amazing
adult
world of
kids.
Gumball is a really special show, and we bet not a lot of adults would want their kids to watch it. But don't worry, we're not done yet.
That's
There are
just
a lot
like
more
putting your
Gumball
child in front of
episodes
the
that
TV
are
when
just a
regular
little
show
bit
comes
too
on. Like,
weird
that
to
show
analyze.
is
The
obviously
joy is
not for
just way
kids.
too
Regular
far.
show is another
See,
Cartoon
Darwin
Network
and
show.
Gumball are
That's for
getting
people I
pissed
feel like are
because
like,
it's
I don't
Monday.
know,
Their dad gives them a hug that makes
potheads.
their
I
entire
don't know.
house explode. But
Like, not
because
every
of the weird
cartoon on that
after
network
being
is for
miserable,
children.
both Gumball and Darwin become way too happy, and it's pretty weird. They start singing musicals. They're totally
It's probably why they
obnoxious
don't. I
and
wonder if they
disturbing
do.
the
They
whole
still make
class.
new
Gumball's
episodes of
laughter is
this.
also pretty psychotic, and definitely not the type of laughter you'd hear.
Because I feel like they
from an
stopped
actual
for a
happy
minute. I
person.
could see.
Gumball
I could
also
probably see
tries to
why
stop
if people are
smiling, but
complaining like
ends
this
up with
about
a
it.
smile from his face. Miss Simeon also makes the whole episode look like the Blair Witch Project by recording this weird phenomenon. And when Gumball and Darwin are on their hospital beds, they make themselves laugh so much they end up looking completely lifeless. Let's face it, this entire episode, including the ending where the students are being chased, isn't really appropriate for kids. The Signal.
It's
the Amazing
funny.
World of
Oh.
Gumball features plenty of episodes where we see the town
People are
malfunctioning
so
because of
sensitive.
strange events. But the way this town malfunctions in this episode is strange even
Is this
for
video
this
almost
show.
over?
In The
'Cause it's
Signal,
pissing me
which
off.
is the 24th episode of season 4, we see Gumball strangely glitch as Darwin tries on hats. It almost makes you think the actual episode is glitching. We feel like this episode is totally overly complex for a cartoon designed for kids. When Darwin gets upset over Gumball, he tries to become stronger to fight with him. In one scene, he ends
Right.
up dropping the barbell on his face during a bench press, which is definitely every weightlifter's nightmare. But what's
Right.
even creepier than that is the way their world is glitching. The way Darwin's face practically melts in one of the scenes is the weirdest thing we have ever seen. And we hope no child would ever repeat Richard's car jokes because they were actually pretty hilarious. And then, of course, it goes right back to the bizarre car scene. Although the episode has a sweet moment between Darwin and Gumball, the entire glitching and switching between the different scenes makes it just a little bit too creepy and confusing for a show that's meant for kids.
It's not meant for kids. That's the thing. It's not.
Halloween episode. In the 4th season, we get to see another Halloween moment that's even scarier than the first. It all starts with a Halloween show and tell at school. Gumball tells a scary Halloween story, and for some bizarre reason, he changes it into the monster he's talking about. And just like that, he changes back into Gumball like nothing happened. We all know this show has its weird moments, but it seems like the kids got more scared by the story rather than the fact that Gumball can turn into a monster.
I need some tequila in this.
Tequila
and cranberry juice. Thumbs up if you drink tequila with cranberry juice.
To make the kids feel more scared. We see Susie's dress being lifted up and a human face being revealed underneath. And if that's not scary enough, it turns out that Gumball's monster was actually real, and he looks even scarier than the monster Gumball turned into. At some point, Gumball, Darwin, and Carrie were almost eaten by the creepy drooly monster, but it turned out that he just wanted a lot of candy. Even though this episode had a happy ending, it was way too scary for something that was meant for children.
Right,
The
okay.
night. And now let's move on to the very final Gumball episode that sends chills down our spine. The characters of this series tend to dream about creepy stuff, and that's exactly what happens in The Night. The episode starts up with a dark fairy tale voice that starts putting everything and everyone to sleep and explains that we'll now explore people's dreams.
Right.
It starts with Gumball getting a weird feeling he's falling when he's asleep, but then he realizes he's in a dream. Then we see Mr. Small in a tiny room, and if you know Mr. Small, you know that he's claustrophobic, which means he's definitely freaking out. We also see Banana Joe snapping in half after trying to eat his own head. The bizarre episode shows characters in what seems to be their worst nightmare, and it's definitely not pretty. But the creepiest dream of all belongs to Anais, who becomes a doll, while Daisy the doll becomes a live being. Along with the terrifying music in the background, it also seems like Daisy is trying to drown and hurt her, even though Anais always makes sure she treats Daisy well. And the fact that Daisy comes to life and whispers that this was her dream is even stranger. Seriously, this show is just way too inappropriate for kids. And that's it for our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our
I just want to see something really quick. So this has 500,000 views. None of these are even scary. You guys are taking the fun out of cartoon. The remote is not the first episode. If you watch this with kids, I think you pointing out what's inappropriate is freaking you out. It's a great show. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I'm not the only one that feels the way I feel about them being biased with this show. I've never watched anything from this channel before, but I feel like everything they said was really biased and really bullshit. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because clearly in their comment section, I'm not the only person that's feeling the way I feel. But hey, if some of y'all are actually agreeing with what they're saying, like if you guys have ever watched The Amazing World of Gumball, let me know if you think it's inappropriate. Me personally, I don't think it's anything wrong with it. A cartoon is supposed to be a cartoon. Not all cartoons are supposed to be perfect, number one. They're not all meant for children. Some cartoons are actually put out there for adults, teens, you know, adolescents, babies, you know, toddlers, stuff like that. Like, that's just not the category for the type of kids that they're trying to make it for, in my opinion. But I'm going to go. I've been rambling long enough. Again, check the description for my Twitch channel. Follow me over there at hey_Mushu. And I will catch you all in my next video. Bye, guys.